Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Meerkat Moving Through the Clouds. And as usual, we're doing it together. I hope you're all doing amazing and fantastic and you're getting through a beautiful day. Today, I just wanted to talk about something that happened recently with me, and maybe through it we can find, some nice reason through it or whatever. I was speaking to someone recently, and somehow my guide was telling me to be more vulnerable in the conversations that I was having. And I said, but I don't want to share my vulnerability and for the person to think that I'm saying it because I need their help. And my guide was like, sorry to break it to you, but you do need help. I'm telling you, they got jokes, yeah, okay, yeah. But I sat there and I was like, that's true. Like, yeah. And that's what being vulnerable is, being sharing your truth, right? It's like, okay, all right, I'll do that. So I went ahead and shared a bit about myself and my situation. And the moment I shared it, something just came all over me, an uneasiness. I felt like running out of my skin. I literally felt like running into a hole and just crawling in there, okay? I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then my dad was like, relax, okay? Relax. Get past your ego. This is your ego trying to protect you. Get past your ego and realize that this is right. You're doing what is good. You're sharing your truth. You're being vulnerable. How else will you make friends? How else will people see you? And well, lately I have been doing better in sharing my vulnerability and speaking my truth. But it's layers to this thing, right? Especially if you've had many years of really being a bit closed off. So I started to think, why? Why is it so hard for me to be open about the fact that I do need help? Because I don't think at this point in my life, like, I don't feel like I'm doing it because of ego. But then it turns out ego isn't something like it's just being pompous or arrogant, right? No, it's a self-protecting mechanism that you adopt over time through conditioning. So I started to think back, where did I first learn that it's not okay to ask for help? And I do remember that it goes back all the way to my childhood, to having to compete with three other siblings and just get my need across, and sometimes just get it shut down, sometimes you get rejected, and sometimes you have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And my mom used to do something where she would make it she would make you somehow regret asking for help in a way. It's not that she won't do it in the times when you actually do need it. She will do it, but there's that nagging, that complaining, that maybe insults that follow through or before. And like I said, I was a very sensitive child. I took those things personally, and I internalized it that it wasn't okay to ask for help. And as I kind of grew older, I learned to just stand on my own 2 feet and to not need anyone, to not, want or need help. I didn't realize that it had become a very serious conditioning for me until I got into this situation, being an asylum seeker in this country, and quite frankly, in a very helpless situation. I started to realize how deeply I am hiding the fact that I do need help. Um, I kept showing up for other people. I just, instead of addressing the fact that I need help, I still assume that position where I am the one who helps. I just, I would do anything I would to help other people. I would share whatever I've got. I try to remain positive. I kept on with it. And funny enough, when you're in that situation, you kind of tend to attract people like you. Even some of the friends that I had at the time kind of helped me stay in that place where we don't show really who we are out of fear of being talked down to, made to feel small, or rejected. But after I did that, after I realized why I'm actually feeling that, it's this feeling of shame. I realized that my ego was protecting me from feeling shame, from feeling then from feeling the shame that comes or follows after asking for help. And that's what I had to deal with. So I sat down, I started talking to myself, because usually that's what I do. I talk to my inner child, and I just wanted to rationalize through my mind what is going on, why I'm feeling this way, why I'm feeling this uneasiness, why I'm trying to put up a wall and defend myself, and why there is no need for that. And I felt better. It's still, I feel like it's going to be an ongoing process, but I felt better after doing that. And I thought to myself, I have helped so many people, and I'm very open to helping people. I love it actually. Why then do I think it is shameful to ask for help? It doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't think it is, because when someone comes to me for help, I will never shame them. I will never ever make them feel bad about themselves, you know? Why then do I treat myself that way? Why then do I expect it? Because of my conditioning. So now it's for me to turn that conditioning into a positive thing and see it as the way I show up for others, that I deserve to have someone show up for me in that way. So it was a way of me to be open to receiving help. And I thought that there could be many people in the same situation. And if you're in a similar situation, maybe you're needing help, maybe you just find it really hard to ask for help, I want you to sit down and ask yourself why you feel shame around receiving or asking for help. And let that go. Try to change that conditioning and let yourself know that it is okay to ask for help. And there is no shame to be had in asking for help. And that, remember how many times you have helped others. I'm sure you have. In whatever way, it doesn't have to be resources or money. It could be an advice. It could be just showing up as a friend. It could be giving that voice. It could be just showing up for someone who needed someone to stand there with them. Whatever it is, in whatever way you have helped someone, you remember that. Remember how good they felt. Remember how it was okay for you to do that, and you didn't make them feel bad, and you didn't think that it was shameful that they needed help. So why should you take something so beautiful and internalize it and keep going in that way and seeing it as shameful because someone told you so, because someone rejected you when you needed help, because someone made you feel small when you needed help, because you always had to be the one who people go to for help, and you never want to be seen as weak. But it is not weak, is it? because we're meant to coexist with each other. We're meant to share and love and give and connect. And how do we do that? Is by showing up for others. And we can never get it right all the time by ourselves. We're meant to coexist. We're meant to live in harmony with each other. And a harmonious connection or relationship with people around you is a give and take thing. So how can you think that? How can you think that you would have a balanced way of living with everyone when you're creating a separation of I need to overgive or I don't need this other party? So it wouldn't be really a harmony, would it be? So I would encourage anyone who ever feels like they can't ask for help to go do the work deep within and just continue to remind yourself that it is okay and take that step to do it, okay? Because how you change it is by taking a different action and then sitting with the uneasiness and soothing yourself and to remind yourself that what you had just done is okay. Because I did that, and that's the first thing I did. I decided to soothe myself and I admit to myself that it's okay. What I did is all right, and remind myself of the reasons why I shouldn't feel any shame around it. We all have conditioning, and we all have the responsibility of deconditioning our minds and the things that we have learned, coping mechanisms, traditions and cultures that we have inherited even before we knew what they were. But as long as we are self-aware, we continue to be aware of our actions and the things that we choose to partake in, we can always look at them and see what is working and what is not working and show up for ourselves better. So this is me just showing up here talking about this topic. And while we're talking about help, I actually do want to mention the fact that I am open to helping and I'm also open to help. I have services that I offer. I am a tarot reader. You can email me if you need my services. I can help you find blockages in your life, or anything you want to know in terms of healing and shadow work. There isn't much I haven't healed in this life, believe me. And even if I don't know, I can surely point you in the right direction because my guides are old souls just like me and they're very knowledgeable. So whatever it is that you want to know about yourself or any clarity that you need in your life moving forward, or any services in terms of the tarot knowledge, whatever it is that you want to know, I'm your girl, okay? You can also help me by checking out my Instagram page and seeing if you fancy anything, okay? Because I'm still an asylum seeker in the UK. It has been 6 years since I've been seeking asylum and I am ready to move forward with my life. So I am open to help and I am not ashamed to admit that. Thank you very much for being here. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in, for watching my videos. You have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.